What's going on YouTube? So Kenny here again with another video in the Kdenlive automation rendering series. And in this video, I'm going to do a coding session to create a audio output file based on the video that is being rendered. So why am I doing this? So I want to be able to use the video as a blog post, but I also wanted to be able to create the text of the blog post from the video. So what I did find is that there is a Google API that will allow me to send it an audio file, and it sends me back the text of what it thinks that was said in that file. So without further ado, we'll hit the intro and then get into the coding. Let's get it. Thanks for checking out the Almost Engineered channel. If you have not already, please be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. So what I'm going to do is actually do some coding here. And so since we have our rendering being done by Melt to create our video file, I was going to use FFmpeg to basically take that MP4 file that is outputting and convert it into an MP3 file. And then when you take that MP3 file, then you can upload it to Google using their API and get back the text. So only in this video am I just going to cover extracting the audio as an MP3. And I'm going to use this command here as the way to execute that. So first things first, I'm going to open my app.java file, and this is where all of my logic is for how to do things. And the next thing I'm going to do is to create a new class file, and we'll call it video to audio. Yeah, video to audio. And I think that should cover everything with this one. I'm trying to see, do I need an interface? I don't, because that's a public function. Okay, so we're going to call this class video to audio, and its sole purpose is to handle the items associated with converting the video file to an audio file. And so I'm going to create a, let's see, we'll start with void for now, and if need be, we'll update it as we integrate it to the rest of the application. We'll change the return value type. And so I'm going to do void convert video to audio, and I'm going to need a video file name as a string. All right, and then we'll take the audio file and just remove MP4 and then set it to MP3. So we don't really need to have that in here. And just in case exception, I'm gonna do that, and that way those are always thrown back up to the top level. And I'm also going to put my comment so I know where the end of my function is. So right now we know we need a video file name. So I'm going to go back to the app class, and inside of my main, I'm going to, so after we do the video file, so this runs the Kdenlive melt command, archives the tarball. So before we do that, just in case something goes wrong, we're going to do that here. So I want to declare a new video to audio. Video to audio equals new video to audio. Oops, not that. All right, and then video to audio dot convert video to audio, and we need the video file name, which would be video output file name, which that goes there. Okay, and so I'm also going to want to declare, so let's do string. I don't want to declare it there though, because it's not going to be used at that point. So I also want to declare a string of audio output file name and set that equal to null right here. and then I will create another function, going to return a string of audio output file name, and string, and call it just file name. And so this will be, actually I'm gonna call this set audio output file name, and then we're going to have a private variable of audio string audio output file name. All right, and then so that will do file name. So audio output file, right. This dot audio output file name equals file name. So we're going to pull that value in, and then we're going to, actually that's not going to return, well, it's a setter. Setters normally don't return values, so maybe I need to have it called get, but then gets don't accept values. So that's a confusing situation to be in. So, interesting, because I want to be able to return that back. So maybe I'll do a set and a get, and then, yeah, so set, so this will be a void then, if that's the case. OID, okay. So set the audio file name to the value passed in. We're going to, all right, so this dot add is equal to this dot audio dot substring. And I think I'm gonna actually remove this ending index. And so I want it to be this dot audio dot index of, and I want to look for a .mp4 as my output files are mp4, will always be named mp4 because of the other functions that we have in our Kdenlive operations file. So I'm going to remove the mp4 line. So remove mp4 extension. mp4 extension ION. Okay. And I want to get the, not the index of, but the last index of in this particular scenario, so that we ensure that we get in the very, very, very last MP4. Because you can actually name a folder something.mp4 and it will, you don't want it to remove that. So, all right. So remove the MP4 extension and then set that value back there. And then this dot audio output file name, come on. All right, is equal to this dot audio output file name plus dot mp3 actually. All right, and then so that is set back to our class variable. And then I'm going to do string set, get audio outputs. Yeah, audio outputs file name, and return this dot audio output file name. And I know what you're thinking, why didn't you use the built-in Eclipse function for setters and getters? I don't know. I had already started typing it, but if you have a lot of functions, you can use the setters and getters. So there's a, if you go to source and then you have the generate setters and getters, and then you can select the, if you have more than one variable, it'll show all of those variables here, and then it'll list what we have here. So why is it recommending that? Oh, because I use out name instead of output name. Okay. And if you already have a function based upon what it should be defined as, it will not show it here. As you see, it's not showing me the setter function, but it is showing the getter function. And the reason why is because if you look, it says get audio output file name, but the function that I wrote is get audio out. So instead of output, it's just out file name. And so that's why it's prompting that. So if I actually go and do output here, and then go back to this generate setters and getters, hey, you already have everything, so there's nothing for me to create. So click OK. All right, so there's that. Whoops, wrong thing. Do in function right here. Okay, so all right, so we're taking the value passed in. All right, and then we're going to remove the MP4 extension from the value that's passed in, and then append the MP3 extension. All right, so there's that. And so if you want to, we could actually do app.log message and whoops, hold on. So that goes down here, and then in the message, we'll say audio file name, and then this dot audio output file name. There we go. All right, so now we know what our file name is when we run this function, and when you call it, so it'll basically do all these conversions and then set it, and then we'll know what it's supposed to be when it outputs it, and then it returns that back. So if we need it, you know, we can go from there. All right, so going back here, so audio output file name is set to null. All right, then I'm going to create a new class, and then I'm going to do video to audio dot set audio output file name, and I'm going to set it to the audio. Actually, I'm going to set this to the video output file name, and then that will. So when I do audio output file name in this function, we'll do video output file name. No, sorry. We'll do video to audio dot get output file name, get audio output file name. And so why is it saying that it's not being used? I'm not sure. Okay, for some reason it's saying it's not being used. I don't know what that's about. All right, so that's set. And then the next step will be to convert the video to audio. And then you give it the video input name for this particular class. All right, so I'm going to save this here. Then I'm going to come back over here to our convert video to audio. All right, so I'm going to put these windows side by side if I can. Let's see if I can get this to do right. Yep, there we go. All right, so as you see, the command to just extract the audio from the MP4 is FFMPEG-I input video with the extension -VN, then codec of a codec, MP3, and then the output file name. So what I'm going to do here is to create a process builder, one word. All right, new process builder. And actually, I'm going to actually create a list before I do this. So I'll leave that there for now. And then I'm going to come back to that. So process, I'm going to call it process args is new list. I think this is correct. Let's see, go back to, so we have another list in the Kdenlive operations. So I'm essentially take that same structure. So we have, here we go, PB arguments. So where is PB arguments declared? So it's declared here as an array list. So we're going to do essentially the same thing. So I'm just go ahead and copy that for simplicity's sake, and then rename it. So we'll leave it PB arguments because it's internal to just this class. All right. Well, excuse me, internal to this function. All right. So the first argument, PB arguments dot add. So we're going to call FFMPEG. So I need to know the path of FFMPEG. So I'm going to do which FFMPEG. And so that is user bin FFMPEG. Now, if it's different on your system, I would recommend putting it in the appropriate location. So I'm going to actually put this in a properties. And so as you see, I have melts path in here. So I'm going to do FFMPEG path equals, and then I'm going to put that there and save that to my properties file. All right. So then I will close that. And then so to read the value from said properties file, I am doing that. Not here. Must be in my app class. Let's see. All right, so properties file not provided. All right, so properties, where am I loading the properties? I don't see, it's arg0. Okay, app property, there we go. All right, so app property, and then I'm passing those into there. Okay, so I need to add another argument to my convert video audio, and that's going to be a string of app property dot get property. Whoops. Get property, and I want the string key. And then so based off what we added, I'm going to use the FFMPEG path in that. So quotes there. All right, so now we go back to our convert video to audio and do string FFMPEG PEG path. All right, so now that we have that there, so then we can resize this window again. All right, so FFMPEG path will be the first argument. All right, and so, all right, next I'm going to do add another argument, and it's going to be a -i. So basically anything that has a space in between will need to be added as a new argument. So this is argument 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're going to have 7 arguments in total just to run FFmpeg. All right, so we got the -i, PB arguments, and so we're going to add .add, and then the video file name as a string. Add, whoops. All right, and this is supposed to be add, not add all. So correct that. All right, in quotes -vn, PB arguments .add. Add only, okay. And gonna in quotes -a codec EC. All right, PB arguments .add, and next one is going to be MP3, and then PB arguments .add, and then the output file name. So this .audio output file name. And so since we created the class, that's all you have to do. All right, and then so PB arguments goes there as a parameter to process builder. All right, so going back, I'm going to look at how I did my other process, and as you see, I did the inherit IO and then redirect the error output and the standard out and the standard error back to the main process, so that all of that can be logged together, and then you start the process and have a wait for command beneath that. So process builder dot inherit, and then process builder redirects, if I can spell it correctly, I'm going to redirect destination. All right, so that is redirect the class this time dot inherit, and then whoops, not that, process builder redirect output, come on, there we go, and redirect dot, well, almost there, dot inherit. All right, and then so that's it for our redirecting, and then going back over here one more time. So we're going to do process and then start the process and then wait for the process to complete. So I'm going to process Java lang process, we'll just call it that, equals process builder dot start, and then process dot wait for, and we want to, I'm not sure how long it's going to take to convert, but I will use the same amount of time that I have for creating videos. Granted, it may not take as long, but I'd rather have too much time in it than too short of a time to prevent it from falsely failing. So I have, in my rendering videos, I have a timeout of waiting for up to 10 hours for the video to render. So I'm going to put that same timeout there and add some comments. Wait for process to complete. All right. And then so what else do I need to add? Let's see if I can get this similar to what is already there. All right. So this is the input video file. And then this is the output video file. Got that. All right. And going to do, let's see, what is it? App.log. Oops, wrong thing. App.log and starting video to audio conversion. Or, yeah, is that how I did it? Yeah. So, converting video to audio, and we'll leave it at that. And then do another app message to say done converting video to audio. All right, so now that we also have our arguments here, line arguments. All right, and 1s is an argument, it's not 2. And we'll do this removing of the unused import. No sense of keeping it there if you're not using it. All right, so now that we have everything from this command, we'll go back. All right, so need to maximize this back over here. All right, so just to recap, and I'll put the Java doc information as you see here in here as well. So, all right, so we have the setting of the audio output file name here, and the name of, actually this should be video file name. That way the video file, you know, when you do the Java doc, it will show you video file name, and then it will also show that this message here, which I'm about to type, the name of the video file that the audio file will be created from. All right, so there's that. Do the Java doc for this one. Returns the audio file name. All right, and last function here, so converts, calls FFMPEG to convert the video file provided to an audio file. All right, and so the name of the video file to convert to an audio, AUDIO file. All right. I might actually want to change this up, come to think of it. And so I want to make this a little bit different. So I want to actually, instead of using this setter to be that way, I want to do it protected actually. So I'm going to call that a protected method, and that protected method will only be able to be accessed by this. So string audio, well, it won't need to know the audio file name at that point. And so, yeah, so what I'm going to do is instead, I'm going to call the set audio output file name from inside of this function. And that way you don't have to specify it because it will automatically generate it based upon what is being provided. And so by being protected, it can't be called outside of that class. So this one should not work. So I'm gonna take that out and can't call that there either. And so I'm gonna actually change this to be down here. And I'm not sure why that's complaining that it's not being used, but it is. Maybe it's not because it's not expecting it where it's supposed to be. I don't know. All right, so there's that. All right, so just to recap. All right, so I'm going to actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually change this to be down here. And so I'm actually So I have a protective function of setting the audio output file name. I have another function to get the audio output file name. And then I have a convert video to audio that calls FFmpeg behind the scenes to do that. And we'll wait for up to 10 hours for that process to complete. And then once it is done, it will continue on with the next video. All right, so one more time for checking my properties. I have my FFmpeg path in here included. So if I go and run my application, let's see, let's get this command console window up so we can see it as soon as it starts. All right, and so debug, here we go. All right, so we have a null pointer exception and it's getting on line 30. So is it pointing to, yes, it's pointing to the correct directory. It did find one directory, uncompressing file. Okay, so file name is diff50. All right, so let's go refresh, go back up to, right now I'm checking. Oh, so this project that I picked is not a true Kdenlive archive file, but it is a Kdenlive project. Close. Okay, let me go find a different project that should be short. Hopefully it is actual Kdenlive archive. All right, so trying to find the shortest one in here, but they may not be done the right way, so that may not work. All right, so let's see, is this one? No, it is not. All right, I might have to go to something more recent. All right, so here we go. Archive, Kdenlive archive project. All right, so copy, and we're going to put that in the pending directory. We want to remove that one and paste. All right, so now that we've put a valid archive file, a valid Kdenlive archive file in the project, going to try this again. All right, so there we go. All right, so first it's going to do what it does as far as rendering the video file. So we'll wait on that to complete. All right, so the process has completed, and as you see here, we've got a couple of issues. So one, output file name is wrong. I think I was supposed to use substring, or I used the other thing instead of that. So that's a problem. So I have to fix that. And then also I don't have FFmpeg installed on this particular computer. So what I'm gonna have to do is run sudo apt-get install. Well, wait, sudo apt-get update and sudo apt-get install FFmpeg. Well, let me see. Do I have FFmpeg? Let's see which FFmpeg. Okay, so this is the server that I render my videos from normally, and it has it installed, but apparently I don't have it installed on this particular machine. So gonna run this. So sudo apt-get update, and I'm doing double ampersands with sudo apt-get apt-get install FFmpeg, and so that will install FFmpeg. If you're prompted, enter your sudo credentials. Clearly I have fat fingered that particular time. All right, so there we go. All right, so while that is running in the background, I'm going to look into this audio file name. So we go back to our video to audio command. Let's see, so substring will begins with the character. So we need to split, I think is what the actual thing I'm looking for. So this dot audio output dot split. I'm trying to think, is this correct? Maybe so. I don't know. Let's see. All right, so that is done installing. So to the internet, we'll go to Java remove file extension from string. Got it. All right, so of course the number one result would be Stack Overflow. Last index, so substring 0, last index. Okay. So I used the right function, I just used the wrong way. All right, so I need to use 0, comma, that. And so the beginning index to the ending index. If I do this, so yeah, beginning index to end index, and the one I used was just beginning index. So basically, so for hamburger, yeah. So it starts at character 4. Remember, numbers start at 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which would be burger, and then it goes into the end, character 8. Yeah, so E. All right. So you kind of get the idea from that. If not, there's always the internet that can explain a little bit further. All right. So yeah, now that we know that that has blown up, we've now corrected that to be the right thing. So if I actually go in this directory, I probably do have a file. Let's see, downloads, rendered, I'm sorry, wrong folder, output. So I only have a Kdenlive. Okay, good. So that blew up in the right points, which is great. All right, so that is done for that. It did not archive and threw an IO exception, which is great. But for some reason, it's still not throwing our exception outputs from the log file. Okay, so we'll figure that one out next. All right, so we're going to run this process again, and we'll see how that goes. So click it, and I'm going to run it as debugging. All right, so I ran the command, and as you see, it created the output file for video to audio and completed. All right, so let's check the output, and here we do have an audio file. Let's play it.
In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to archive a project within Kdenlive.
And it sounds pretty good. Sounds just like the video does.
In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to archive a project within Kdenlive.
All right, so now that we have our audio file being outputted, so this part of the video is done. So I'm going to go ahead and resolve this particular issue that we have. So item number 14 on the board. And I will add some more comments to this where I see that they need to be added. If you have any questions about this particular part of the series, please be sure to drop a comment in the comment section below. And if you have a different way of creating audio file from a video, you can drop that in the comment section below too as well. Be sure to stay tuned for the next video in this series, which will be posted next week. If you have not already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel below. And if you learned something from this video or may even use this video, please give this video a thumbs up. Until next time, peace.